There's no truth to find. Eyes are watching without mind. Locked away for words we say. Names forgotten night and day. Metal towers crush our dreams. Voices hidden in the machine. Freedom's lost inside control. Empty thoughts swallow the soul. Can't speak, feel the pain. In these shackles, silent chains. Names are gone, heart betrayed. Darkness falls, never fades. Guards are lurking, shadows deep. Voices whisper, secrets keep. Hope is fading in the night. Screams are prison in plain sight. They control, laughter scream. Punish hope, steal the dream. No more light in this cage. Only silence, only rage. Can't speak, feel the pain. In these shackles, silent chains. Names are gone, heart betrayed. Darkness falls, never fades. Can't speak, feel the pain. In these shackles, silent chains. Names are gone, heart betrayed. Darkness falls, never fades. Can't speak. Cannot face. Darkness falls, never fades. Hands speak, feel the pain. In these shackles, silent chains. Memes are gone, heart betrayed. Darkness falls, never fades. Can't speak, feel the pain. In these shackles, silent chains. Memes are gone, heart betrayed. Darkness falls, never fades. Can't speak, feel the pain. In these shackles, silent chains. Memes are gone, heart betrayed. Darkness falls, never fades. Can't speak.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah,
I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get on safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me?
I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get on safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, hearts full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop up. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo.
I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get on safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me?
I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop.
It's Friday night. It's John and Ed, and it's all in. There you go. How's that? Are you still muted, donkey boy?
Oh yeah, hello. How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good.
Don't fuck yourself, dickhead. Fucking hell. That was a very sprightly introduction there, John.
Why, thank you. Why, thank you. Yeah, I think I'm going crazy. Shalini. I haven't eaten since Sunday, and I'm feeling fucking fantastic. Although I did confess to Ed that I actually felt a bit of a hunger pang about 10 minutes ago.
Right.
So anyway, how are you, Ed? It's been a while since we last saw you.
Yeah,
That's a nice shirt. That's different.
22 hours.
You've branched out, haven't you?
Yeah, this is a gift from Journeying John.
Ah ha ha.
It felt I needed to broaden my perspective, and I also refused to wear an orange one. So,
Well, it kind of looks orange on the screen. I take it it's meant to be brown, is it?
That's yellow.
Oh, looking thinner in the face. I should hope so too, right? I've lost 10 pounds now. 10 pounds. So normally this is Friday night, which is, I can't say that word, can I? I can say Chinese takeaway night, right? So, so Friday night is Chinese takeaway night, but I have forgone it. And I'm not drinking either. Only water. I don't know why I'm so bubbly. I don't know if it gives me more energy, because I do think I know it might sound narcissistic, and it's not, because I really don't like watching myself that much, except when I'm doing those Grumpy Scott reviews. I find them quite funny when I really listen back to them. But I dipped into last night's show to check the levels, and you were a little bit quiet, so I've turned you up already tonight, Ed. I've turned you up, mate.
Well, I have a little dial on my microphone, so I can turn myself up as needed.
Okay. Well, we'll see. But anyway, yeah. So I listened to myself, and I think I seem to have more energy as well. I don't know why.
Well, it certainly sounds like it this evening.
Well, it's Friday night, This is
got
a
more
big
energy than I do.
Yeah, but you're kind of mellow guy anyway, aren't you? You're kind of. I'm just mellow. I'll just see how things are. Right. So fair warning tonight, people. We may upset some people because we're going to be touching some touchy subjects, and you know what? Listen to what people are saying before anyone jumps in and takes the hump, right? Because, and Ed and I were having this kind of discussion before the show. People do this all the time. You say something, especially on some kind of textual medium like Twitter. You say something and people come back at you, answering something you haven't said, or giving you a hard time for something you actually haven't said. Because they have it in their head you've said something that you haven't said. So let's just chill out when it comes to contentious points, because as you know, we try and look at them from a logical perspective, and I'll give you as good as I can on the law as it was when I last studied it, which I did get a prize for. You have to remember that. I won the Dishforth Academic Trophy at the Scottish Police College. So there you go.
Well, yeah, but you were a policeman in a much more civilized era where
you say that.
Well, it seems more civilized compared to 2024. Put it that way.
Oh, Johnning John's getting into me. He wants me to wear shirts. Well, I tell you what, John. Once I've lost a couple more pounds, I'll maybe be able to get back into my shirts. How does that sound, mate? That okay for you? Right. Okay, we've got a stack in the chat tonight. Shalini, Julie, Ray, Britmate, Johnny and John. Elusive. I haven't seen you around before. You've been very elusive. Who else we got? Melted Mushroom. Yeah, and Shalini. Did I say Shalini? And apparently Vaughn's being gross. Stop being gross, Vaughn. Are you playing Fortnite tonight? Are you playing Fortnite after the game? Are you? Hey, after the game? After the The show? I don't know. Right, I was looking at myself today and I thought I really need to tint the old grey stuff again, don't I? I'm looking really white. This isn't a good look. It's okay if you...
You're
Sorry.
starting to look a bit like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, I'm going to have to change that. Oh, he has working his up.
I meant Alec Guinness's Obi-Wan Kenobi rather than.
Oh, thanks very much, mate. Cheers a lot. Thanks. Fuck you, you ginger tosser. Right.
I'm so not ginger.
You say that, but I've met you. Well, Johnny and John, there's a hint of ginger there, isn't there, in the orange guy? Right. Anyway, where are we going to start tonight? Well, I don't have any slides about it, but shall we start with this this yacht business? You know, this guy. Oh, yeah, Emma Watts. Welcome. I haven't seen you for ages. Yeah, let's talk about Mike Lynch and his buddy his other. Well, we'll talk about him in a minute. So let's talk about Mike Lynch and the tragedy that befell this 56-meter super yacht that was anchored off Sicily.
Well, to start with, the thing was rated to cross the Atlantic, and it was big enough to do it. Had something like just over 50. I think it's like 51 or 52 people on it.
Yeah.
And I think that includes the crew. But it was a freak water spout. I mean, it's the water spout just comes in, tosses over this yacht, and then disappears again. I mean, it did just mathematically, the odds of that happening must be outrageously low. And the other slightly suspicious bit of news was couple of days before, his co-defendant was killed in a car crash.
No, it wasn't killed in a car crash, mate. He was out jogging, right?
Oh, was he
and
hit
get run over and killed.
Yeah, no, I knew there was a car involved.
Wow. Yeah,
but
not suspicious at all. Nothing to do with the $11 billion lawsuit that they won at the beginning of the year. Nothing to do with that at all. You know, and that's accurate. You know, it's nothing to do with that at all.
Well, not directly. But
well, I don't know. I mean,
they'd clearly pissed off the wrong people. And
so
they were.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I mean, if you look at what Mike Lynch was actually involved in, I mean, that was some very deep statey type stuff. Put it that way.
Well, he sold. Who did he sell his company to? CIA? No. Or was it just American government?
No, I think it was Hewlett Packard.
Yeah, okay. So the CIA.
I think he sold autonomy to Hewlett Packard. Well, because the thing is that autonomy back in the day, they had a desktop product that they released, and it was a very clever web crawler initially that you could basically run up on a PC, and you tell it what you wanted to look for, and it would basically spend the time online retrieving this information and categorizing it, stuff like that. And we used that in an old business that I was working for, late 90s. And then suddenly they stopped marketing it publicly. Yeah. And I think that they took their tech
and they built person of interest.
Well, it is a bit person of interest, yeah. But the thing is that they were involved after the Snowden leaks. There was another company whose name escapes me.
Darktrace?
That's the one. They started Darktrace, which was a way of using AI to stop people like Snowden being able to leak stuff, and using AI to monitor the network and figuring out what was normal activity and where the anomalies were, and then jumping in to stop anomalies, closing ports, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was very, very deep and dark and nefarious, if you ask me.
Yeah, it was. It's well dodgy. I think it's one of these things that one has to believe in some coincidences, and coincidences do occur, but
not like that. Not a fucking water spout. No,
it's a bit fucking much to take. And the other thing is, Why did the captain not leave port? Why? He was okay. He wasn't in a port. He was anchored offshore, but he was anchored in fairly shallow water. Why didn't he? Why? It's a seagoing vessel. If a storm's coming, what do? You go
Yeah, but
into deeper water. You don't go shallow.
But was it an actual storm, a full-on storm, or was it
Or
just a water
well,
spout?
some people are saying it's just a downburst or something. Where air goes whoosh straight down, and that does happen. I've seen that happen in Canada, where it wipes out trees and things like that in a perfect circle. And then
If you
people
look at,
say, "Oh, a UFO ended." No, it was a downburst, mate. It happens all the time. But yeah,
I mean, if you look at that yacht, it was very broad, so
mhm.
it must have been quite stable in the water.
It's a
Um,
72-meter mast,
yeah,
right?
and I mean, if it's designed for the Atlantic, for example, um, then it would have to be capable of withstanding some seriously bad weather.
Oh yeah.
Um, but more to the point, just a random water spout. I mean, and then all of the media are blaming climate change for it, but then they blame everything is either climate change or Putin.
Yeah, of
Um,
course it is.
and
Ah,
I mean,
forgot my
I find
light.
it just, I mean, if it was just him, then yeah, maybe I'd be more inclined to believe it. But the fact that his co-defendant died a couple of days beforehand and was run
It
over,
was it not even close to 24 hours? It was just like ridiculously
I'm
close.
not, yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but it's too convenient. It's too bloody obvious.
Mhm. Yeah, that is too obvious, and I think there's definitely going to be more comes out of this. It just the whole thing screams something's wrong.
I think it's going to be one of those stories where we end up getting a lot of obfuscation and misinformation, and
Yeah,
people claiming to have solved it and coming up with outrageous explanations like, I don't know, underwater freaking aliens or something.
yeah.
Um,
There was a good news story about it though, because was it his daughter and her baby survived because they had gone up top and
that's good.
they didn't get stuck inside. So that's semi good. I mean, the thing is, have you ever been in these yachts? Once you're downstairs in the cabins, you've no chance of getting out unless
Mm.
you're really got your wits about you and very very swift at undoing portholes. While holding
Yeah,
your breath.
yeah. I mean, and if you're taken by surprise, or, I mean, they can't have been taken by surprise because they would have had some. I
Well,
mean, it might have
not
been.
well. If it was a downburst, they wouldn't get any warning. It would just go boom. And if it was something else that goes boom, they wouldn't get any warning either, would they? But yeah, I know what you mean. It's really dodgy. It's really, really, really dodgy. I just find the
Mm,
whole thing incredibly creepy. Right.
yeah, it smells like rotten fish.
It does. It does. Let's move into slides. Now I've left this slide here because I think her
I hate him.
comrade Starmer
I
is
detest him.
he's still very much front and center with his. What is it with the guy? He makes my skin crawl.
He really does. He's despicable.
He's
Just his weak nasally voice
yeah.
and
Ugh.
the authoritarianism and the instant. I mean, it's the way that he's got when he was in Northern Ireland, instantly branding them all as racists who needed to get with the times. And at no point has he addressed legitimate concerns people have. They're either far right or they're racists, or anyone who doesn't do what he says is clearly a far right extremist. Um, and he's already broken campaign promises
Oh yeah,
in
he has.
terms.
Well, I mean, in fact, actually, if we want to talk about campaign promises, mate, let's have a quick look at this. Where is it? Where is it? Where's the page gone? Right. Oh,
And I saw a great tweet this morning about it. It's like the government, the current government is blaming the last government for the problems created by the government. It's literally, and the Tories did this for years until
oh yeah.
the Tories blamed the previous Labour government and for everything until it was so far into their term in office that there was no way that they could blame Labour for anything. and we're going to get the same from this
But
bunch of
you know
brats.
what? You know what? It's like, see, when you get a new job, you get 6 months, right? When you go into a new job, this has been my experience. You go into a new job, you get 6 months of more or less getting everything you ask for, right?
Mm.
You
I haven't
know,
had a new job in 30 years, so.
yeah, okay. Well. So I mean, I can't even count the amount of jobs I've had now. But you go in, you know, I need twin 19-inch monitors. Yeah, okay, you can have them. You know, that kind of thing. You know, I need a decent laptop. Yeah, okay, you can have it. Right, but so you get everything you want for the first 6 months, and that's it. You don't get anything else again, and you don't get to blame anyone after that first 6 months.
Well, he's not even getting. I mean, Rishi said he was going to ruin the country in 100 days, and he's going to beat that record by quite a lot.
Well, not even at
And
50 yet.
and I also think it's bloody typical that the one time Sunak actually does get something right, he's no longer in office.
Yeah. Well, that's maybe by design.
I mean,
Because let's face it, the Tories didn't exactly seem to be putting up much of a fight. You know?
they're not doing anything. Sunak is sunning himself in California. The rest of them are arguing about who's going to be leader, and they're all keeping their heads down. And it was the same during the Rona. I mean,
Yeah.
Starmer basically he wasn't His Majesty's loyal opposition. He was, I mean, he was opposing the government, but he was wanting more of the bloody lockdowns.
Yeah, he would do it harder, do it faster, do it quicker. You know, hurt me more, boy, hurt me more. Right. Anyway, talking about hurting people, what the hell's going on with this authoritarian dystopian nightmare that is still going on in England after these shall we say unscheduled nighttime activities? So this guy was arrested as he stepped off the plane, and obviously he's been in Spain because of the Ryanair plane, because they only fly to Spain, don't they? But anyway, so he stepped off the plane, and the police are tweeting this out, and they made a production out of it. It's got music on it, and a countdown, and 70th of arrest. This guy's getting the jail, 20 months, and then they give you his address. Well, they give you most of his address, right? And people are going, well, they're doxing him. Well, right, point of order, okay? He's obviously pled guilty, or his name and address wouldn't be up there. So he's pled guilty. So he's now a convicted. He's now a convicted offender, or whatever it was he get charged with. He's a criminal of some kind or another. So he's been convicted. So it's now it's a matter of public record. His name, age, and address will be in the court record, and anyone can go and look up the court record. So they're not doxing him. They're just making it easier for people to find out where he used to live, because he's now detained at His Majesty's pleasure. But yeah, so he's not actually been doxed, and they haven't actually done anything technically wrong. But they don't normally do this, because what you might get is people that want to go and administer more justice to people that don't deserve it, like maybe his family, you know? So the media and the police don't normally give out addresses. You know, age and name is usually enough. So why are they doing this? It's to promote this culture of fear, isn't it?
Yeah.
We shouldn't be talking right now. We should just be sitting here going, and the dear leader said that you must do this and you must do that, and we will do this and do that.
We must comply.
Yeah.
Yeah, they basically, they want everyone so terrified that they won't speak out, even though they're getting shagged up the bum. And
without even a reach around.
Yeah, or any frickin' lube or anything. I mean,
it's like you read my mind.
Yeah, it's absolutely classic authoritarian, tyrannical dictatorship nonsense.
Yes,
and I mean, the whole thing is laughable. They're letting out people who've committed actual crimes and locking up people who got caught up in riots, said unfortunate things online. Okay, I mean, in the case of, say, Lucy Connolly, the wife of the Tory councillor that was arrested for hate speech, who's just been remanded, mother of two, for saying naughty things online. I think she's been in prison for nearly a month now. That's fucking disgusting. I mean, what the hell?
Right. I
The-
mean, right. So let's look at this. Let's look at this from a semi-legal standpoint, because I'm not quite sure how England, and you have to remember, Scotland and England have completely different legal systems.
But
apart
these
from,
judges,
whoa,
John,
whoa, whoa,
these
wait.
judges are making the
Can I-
fucking law up as they go along.
May I go through this? Right. May I please
You
go
must.
through this? Right. So Scotland and England have completely different legal systems, but there are similarities. Apart from the road traffic law, which is identical. Right. So this woman got arrested for making a statement, and can't say what the statement is, right? But the statement was meant to be an incitement to commit further crime, right? So she's been arrested, and she's obviously pled not guilty, and that's why she's been remanded, right? Now, here's the thing that gets me. There are a number of criteria you need to fulfill in order to not get bail, right? I mean, is she really likely to reoffend? I would say no, right? And this is where the Just Stop Oil people fail the test straight away, because if you lock up someone who's just poured soup over a Van Gogh or whatever, are they likely to reoffend?
Yes,
because they've said they will, right? This woman, I would imagine, hasn't said anything of the sort.
She deleted the tweet.
Yeah, I know.
Within a few hours.
Yes, so she's shown that she's thought about it. It's something that's been done in the heat of the moment. And, and really, when has anyone ever looked at any of the social media platforms, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, or whatever, and said, "Oh, that sounds like a good idea. I'll rush out and do that." Ed says I should go and jump off the bridge over there. I think I'll go and do it. Yeah, I'll go and do that. That sounds like a great idea. Fucking, did their mothers never say to? I mean, see these people, these judges. Has their mother never said to them, if your pal jumped off a bridge, would you do that too?
I mean, I've seen lefties and trans activists. I mean, the amount, particularly during the Rona, but I mean, I've dealt with about a week of being called everything from Putin propagandist to a Vatnik by all of the bloody naphoids for a tweet. And it's fun because I pop one of these tweets out and they all scurry out of the woodwork like little worms, and I block them. And it's much easier than going out and finding them. But I mean, they say 1,000 times worse things than I've ever heard Lucy say. But so it's also, I mean, in her case, fair enough.
Well, let's finish the bail thing. Let's finish the bail thing. So she's not likely to reoffend. Is she likely to abscond? Highly unlikely, right?
She's got family,
two kids and she's got a Tory councillor as a husband, right? So
I think you just nailed it. I think one of the reasons that they're really going after her is because all of these nasty little Labour wankers who've just won the election, it looks so good saying wife of Tory councillor arrested for hate speech. I bet you she's basically, they're targeting her specifically because her husband is a Tory councillor. And it's poisonous. It's absolutely, and it's poisoning the political discourse in the country, but that's what they want. They want everyone at each other's throats. So we're not paying attention to them.
Yep. The third thing on the bail thing is, did she commit a crime that's so heinous that she can't be allowed and is a danger to the public?
No,
I doubt that. It's hearty words, right?
I sat on a freaking jury. I'm saying no.
Yeah. Now the test of whether she actually committed a crime or not is, would a reasonable person, right, expect what she said to have the effect that she's been charged with? Now, I don't quite know what she's been charged with, but I'll probably think it's something along the lines of incitement to cause an affray or some shit like that. You'll be under some statute down there, no doubt. But anyway, would a reasonable person think that her words were sufficient to cause that?
Absolutely.
And I would say no. And I would hope that this will go to a jury trial and the jury will say not guilty, right?
Well, I've actually heard that if you get picked up and charged with something, that the thing to do is to say, I do not understand. I request a trial by jury. And because that understand, that word in that context has got a different meaning from what we think it means. We think it means I don't know what you're talking about, but what it actually means is I don't stand under you.
Right, okay, let's not go down that route, okay?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's just something I heard.
Yeah, this is beginning to sound a bit like one of these sovereign things. And
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is.
Right, okay. So, first of all, anyone who's giving you legal advice, and this is not legal advice, this is just my opinion, right? But if you are in a situation where the police have to speak to you, if you are not guilty, right, I would say nothing. Nothing to the police until you have legal representation with you. Okay.
Does that include including saying I'm not talking to you until I have a lawyer, or you just say nothing?
No, you can say I am not answering any questions until I have my legal representation present. That would be that's that. Nothing. I mean, you have to give if you've been arrested and will be charged or whatever. You won't be charged at that point, but if you are being arrested, you'll have to give your name and address, right? Or where you don't, you can be a dick and still you'll still get locked up and then put to court, and the judge will ask you your name and address, and if you don't tell him, you'll go to jail for contempt of court.
I mean, something like your name and address. If they've come to arrest you at your home, all they have to do is find a bloody envelope that's got your name on it.
Yeah, but that's not the point. You've got to self-determinate who you are, you know.
Yeah, but I think that it's with these things, it's you have to walk a balance between maintaining your rights and not giving away any information, with showing the police a little bit of courtesy and
don't. This is where people get it wrong all the time. You are not obliged to do anything, right? You're not obliged to say anything. So you don't say anything until you have legal representation. If they want to arrest you, they arrest you. They take you down the station. Let's just have a little chat before your lawyer gets here. No. We just want to clear this up. We can probably clear this up and let you out before you have to, before we even have to call a lawyer. No. Your lawyer's going to take 4 hours to get here. Fine. I'll wait 4 hours. You do not engage in any kind of chit chat. And people get this wrong all the time. As soon as you start saying something, that's on record, right? There's nothing off record in a police station, right?
And it makes it much more difficult to stay quiet afterwards, because once you've actually started talking, and they're really skilled in wheedling information out of you as well. Are you allowed to take a book?
See, if you're in a cell and you ask, they'll probably give you a book. If you're reasonable, I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying, may I have a glass of water? Do you have any reading material? You can ask. But yeah, the police, of course the police can lie. It's interrogation, but the police are really...
do you have Richard Medhurst on your list?
I don't have Richard Medhurst on my list because I don't know enough about it to talk about it. But, if you want to talk about it, I'm happy.
Well, this is kind of a good segue into it. Richard Medhurst is an independent journalist. And I didn't realize, but his family is actually both his father and his grandfather. His father served in World War II and his grandfather served in World War I. And I think his father might have been a diplomat or something after the war. So he's got a not insignificant family line, but he's basically been exposing things that the British government don't want exposed, effectively. And he was arrested at Heathrow Airport about a week ago, I think, under Section 12 of the 2000 Terrorism Act.
Yep.
Which, and people might not know this, but when you get off your airplane, until you actually go through customs, you exist in a different legal environment to once you get through the border.
Yeah, because you're not technically in the UK.
Yeah. And they've actually used that little bit of legal ambiguity
Uh-huh.
to impose all sorts of terrorist acts. So the police they can arrest you off the plane like they did Richard Medhurst. I think they kept him. I'm not sure how long they kept him.
24?
I think it was they had him locked up for like 23 hours or something
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
And they don't have to tell you why they're arresting you.
Yeah.
They just have to say it's under Section 12 of the Terrorism Act. They've seized all of his devices. It's illegal. It's a criminal offense to not answer their questions.
Mhm.
You can't refuse to provide passwords for your phones and stuff like that. You literally,
Mhm.
they've got you by the balls.
Mhm.
And his crime is journalism. And the
Yeah.
same thing happened to Kit Clarenberg
Yes, yes.
from
Now,
the Grey Zone.
so that's a completely different situation, right? Because when you're under that kind of duress, you are struggling no matter how you look at it, right? I don't know what I would do in that situation. It would very much depend on what happened, because your rights are effectively, you don't have any rights at that point. You don't have the right to a solicitor or anything because of the way the legislation's been written. So
You don't have a right to contact your family.
yeah,
It's
well,
like no one knew where he was for 24 hours.
yeah, you don't have any rights to do anything. And remember, you don't have the right for a phone call. That's an American thing. You don't get to make a phone call when you're arrested. See the amount of people that go, I want my phone call. I'm sorry, you don't get a phone call, mate. What? I've got the right to have a phone call. No, you've been watching too many American TV shows. Not in the UK, you don't. There's no phone calls here.
But I mean, it's Orwellian. But the whole country is turning into Orwell's wet dream. It's like they're using 1984 as an instruction manual. I mean,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
This was not meant to be a documentary.
Exactly. I mean, it's completely and utterly bananas. And I can't. I mean, when you think of the police actually doing that, I mean, he's not. They're using terrorist legislation that was written because people were blowing shit up.
Mhm.
And the whole point was we need this anti-terror legislation so that we can stop these nasty jihadi people from blowing up buildings.
So
And now they're using it on journalists.
Yeah.
And at the time, there was loads of people saying that they were going to use it on journalists.
So yeah, well, yeah, they were. So the question is, why did they arrest? See, this is a problem with the terrorism stuff, because you don't know why they've done it.
I don't think he knows. He's actually if people were interested in his story, just go to his Twitter page and you'll see a video that he did a few days ago.
Mhm.
And I don't think he even knows to this day why they picked him up.
Yeah, yeah. No,
'Cause they
I
don't
think
have
I think Britmate's right. It's used to intimidate. I think you're right, and it's trying to intimidate people like us who are on YouTube and talking nonsense about things that we don't know half of the background about. But you know what? At this moment in time, we're still entitled to have an opinion. You know,
Exactly.
and
I mean, it's one thing if you're doing an Edward Snowden and you're downloading loads of secret documents. Now, I personally think Ed Snowden is a hero,
Mhm.
and he should be given a presidential pardon, and he should be given the bloody Presidential Medal of Freedom. Because that's clearly in the public interest. Same with Chelsea Manning as well, or Bradley Manning. I'm going to call him Chelsea out of respect for her, I guess. But I mean, this shit is not a crime. What's a crime is, I mean, if you look at the reason that Manning was arrested was because of that video showing it was gun camera footage from an Apache
shooting up
of
the minibus.
American pilots shooting journalists.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a war crime. Simple. So instead of the people who commit the crimes being arrested, it's the people who report the crimes. And it's the same with Starmer. Instead of solving the problems or working to solve the problems, he arrests anyone complaining about it.
Yeah, that's always been the case as far as whistleblowers go. Whistleblowers always end up on the wrong side. You know, they always end up getting arrested or prosecuted or pursued or whatever. And I mean, you walk into, like, let's just say you walk into a police headquarters and the big sign on the wall says, you know, if somebody is doing something wrong, let us know. You know, you are protected under whistleblower legislation. No, you're fucking not. You're going to get hauled over like coals if you open your gob about somebody doing something wrong.
Absolutely. Have you seen? There's a great movie with Keira Knightley. I think it's called Official Secrets or something.
Okay.
It's about the Catherine Gunn story, and Catherine Gunn is played by Keira Knightley, and Catherine Gunn was a GCHQ analyst.
Mhm.
And before the Iraq War, the NSA sent out a memo to the Five Eyes saying that they were looking for effectively looking for dirt on
Yeah.
particular members of the UN Security Council. that
Scott
they could
Ritter being one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that they could use in order to sway the vote
Yeah.
in terms of the war. And Catherine Gunn, basically, she gave that memo to the Guardian, and this is back when the Guardian actually had some proper journalists working for them instead of the. Don't even get me started on those dickheads. Anyway,
The Guardian.
but the Guardian at the time, but they did and ah about publishing it.
Yeah.
But they got confirmation of the person who actually wrote the memo at the NSA, and so they verified it and they published it, and it didn't stop the war.
Yeah.
But the way that they went after Catherine Gunn, and then at the trial, she had Liberty. It's like Shami Chakrabarti in that lot, representing her.
Yeah.
And her barrister played an absolutely masterful stroke. That they used the argument that if you see a crime being committed, then you have an obligation to do something about that.
Yeah.
And so they framed it in those sorts of terms, and that basically gave her a really powerful argument. But at the trial, they wanted to see certain documents that the government didn't want them to see, and so instead of actually releasing that information, the prosecutor just shut the case down.
Yeah.
And she ended up being let off, and the whole trial was dropped.
Yeah, but unemployable afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but at the same time, I mean, I think she might have written a book, and there's a movie and stuff like that. So people like that.
So what was that movie called?
I think it's Official Secrets. Let me see if I'll just pop up IMDb quickly.
And while you're on about that, what I'm going to just point out, I think this is probably about the last one about the Home Office and the. And this is the part that I don't like, because the government are not meant to be part of the judiciary, and yet they seem to be putting an awful lot of pressure on judges to throw the book at these people that have indulged in extracurricular activity. And that's not what the government should be doing, because the judiciary is supposed to be a standalone organisation that applies the law fairly. And I'm not convinced that this has been applied fairly. And then we have the Home Office, a government department run by civil servants who are not elected, right? Making up things that are designed to terrify you. I mean, purely designed to terrify you. You saw some of them in the intro, you know, we will come after you, the full force of the law, 10 years and all this. And what's his name? Lee Anderson wrote this letter to, and you can't read it because it's tiny, and I have no apologies for that. But he wrote this letter to Yvette Cooper, who is the Home Secretary, obviously, asking why the Home Office are effectively tarring people as criminals when they haven't been convicted. And that's close. It's so close to contempt of court. But I think they just get away with it because they haven't said it about any individuals. They've only said it about a group of people, right?
And also with the state of the judiciary in this country. I mean, they're I don't have any faith in the legal system at all. I've
No,
got
at
I've got
this
no
moment in
faith in the
time,
medical
no.
system, the legal system, politics, um, or any of them, frankly.
They're all freaking lunatics.
But
So,
this is, I mean,
yeah,
I mean that Twitter account, Awaken World.
yeah,
That's a good account for people to follow if they don't already. She's a lawyer
there you
and
go.
posts some really good stuff.
Right. Okay. So, I think we're kind of done with the police propaganda, the courts, and the Home Office
Yeah, I've had
fear
enough of those
porn.
assholes. Let's talk about something else.
Okay. Well, let's talk about a couple of other arseholes. Okay. I'm going to
God.
talk. I'm going to talk about Tate, or the Tates.
Ah.
So
they're not just assholes, they're the heir to the throne of the kingdom of assholes.
yeah, they are. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind they are. They are not nice people, right? And
No.
this is the point. This is the problem. Even though they are not nice people, right? You still need to follow due legal process, and you need
Oh yeah.
you need to you if you're in a civilized society, you need to give them a fair trial, right?
Well, they live in Romania.
Yeah, well, I know, but they went to Romania of their own violation because they knew that they could, shall we say, bend the system in Romania, you know, and
Well,
I think that's come back to bite them on the arse.
well, I mean, I find them pretty despicable because they'll spout off
Mhm.
about young men behaving in a certain way
Mhm.
and not watching porn and smoking cigars or doing whatever they do.
Yeah,
But then at the same time, those two have made all of their money off of porn, effectively.
yeah, okay, yeah. So, but
Because
right,
because
so the thing that gets me though is they've been locked up now, or they've been locked up or let out in house arrest or whatever, and then they were allowed to travel within Europe but not to leave the European Union area. So, but now they've been raided and rearrested and have additional charges against them. Now the thing is, what's going on here, right? Because why is it taking so long? And it's taking so long because the prosecution are kiting to get enough evidence. They're not getting the evidence they need to convict these guys. That's and this might be my view, and you can shoot me down for it if you wish. I am not defending the Tates. What I'm saying is the Romanian government and judicial system do not have sufficient evidence to prosecute them, right? And that's why they're not being to trial.
I might think that they're a pair of assholes, but at the
Yeah.
same time, people have a right. I mean, they have a right to be assholes.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Let's
there's
be clear about that. I mean, as long as they're not committing a crime,
yeah,
and if the police are struggling to find anything to charge them with, then that's just a witch hunt.
right. So, and this is what trust me, the police kind of do this once people rub them up the wrong way, and they keep digging around looking for something else. So they've now come up with this having relations with a minor thing, okay? And Tate has come out and he actually put a reasonable point here, because if they remand them into a prison with that charge against them, are they actually just trying to get them taken out without them having to take them to court and prosecute them? Because
Highly possible.
that is a possibility. And I'm not saying he did or didn't do it. I don't know. But then we have this whole thing about, and this is where I'm going to upset people, because we've got this whole thing again about the difference between the legal system and morals, right? Now, if your morals say you don't have sex with young girls, that's fine, right? But if the legal age of consent is 16, or and here's the thing I found out last night, and this all depends on when Tate did this, if he did it, because one of the girls was meant to be 15, right? Or in Romania, the legal age of consent was 15 until last year.
I mean,
Now, I know, hey, I'm not saying it's right, but the law says it's not against the law. Now, until 2021, it was legal to have sex with a 13-year-old in Japan. Right? Now, I'm not saying that's right either. But the law says that's the case. Now, if a society is, everybody seems to think nobody's an adult until they're 18, and that's not the case. In Scotland, if you're 16, you get tried as an adult, unless you were under a supervision order. You are an adult at 16. In Scotland, you reach the age of criminal responsibility at 8. So you cannot apply your standards to everyone else. And this is where the Americans really piss me off, because they think anyone that has sex with someone under 18 is committing an offence and they're having sex with a child. And that's not the case. That is not the case. You know? Because although Team America like to think they are the world police, they aren't. And that's the thing that pisses me off about Americans. Now, morally, completely different ballgame, right? Completely different ballgame if you want to go down the moral route, right? But the legal point is the only thing I can go on, because that's the only thing that's cut and dried.
Absolutely, and I mean, certainly when it comes to arresting someone and depriving of their freedom, we have to have a collective set of rules in a society.
Yeah.
Although that doesn't really count in the UK anymore. But I mean, places like Japan is an extremely civilized country, and
Yeah.
I'm like you. I don't
was
agree
shocked.
with it. Yeah, no, I was shocked. I didn't know that
And
either.
And to be fair, although the legislation was in place, a lot of prefectures had put in additional legislation to move away from it, right? But the overriding law of the country was 13, and some prefectures in Japan still held to that, right? And then you don't want to start going into other places, you know, that pay lip service to ages of consent, but still allow you to get married at 9, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I personally think that the age of consent is, to me, that's if you have two 13-year-olds fooling around playing doctor and nurses or whatever, then they shouldn't be criminals. But at the same time, even if the age of consent is 13, if it's two 13-year-olds, that's just kids fooling around. Okay, fine, give them a bit of a talking to, whatever. But if it's a 19-year-old and a 13-year-old, then that's a whole nother kettle of fish.
But that's a defence.
Even if
that's a defence in Britain, right? If you're under 21, you have the defence that you maybe thought the girl was older and of a...
Wow.
I'm only telling you the law, right? If you're under 21, that is a defence that you... Because apparently young people find it harder to tell what age people are than old people. Now, I don't think that's right, because I watched that movie, what's it called, Alien Romulus, and I thought we had a cast of fucking 12-year-olds, right? And they turned
out... just because you're turning into an old fart.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. But they turned out to be 27, 28, 29, and I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, you remember Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Do you remember watching that? And I remember watching that and having the hots for Cordelia and thinking, I shouldn't really be having the hots for her because she's a teenage girl. She was fucking 32!
It's the same with Sarah Michelle Gellar. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. The law can be an ass. It really can. But the problem is, the only people that can change it are us.
Well, yeah, and I think that particularly, I don't know. I think that we have to have a set of agreed standards, but when you have a government that can basically just enforce them on us and violate it themselves anytime they want, it's like, oh, the whole thing with privacy. If you've got nothing to fear, you've got nothing to hide. Yeah, okay, what about the bloody government slapping D notices and shit here, there, and everywhere, or national security stuff that exists just to stop governmental embarrassment?
100%. See, this is a problem with the mainstream media, because we've never had a free press in this country because D-notices have existed since, at least the Second World War, right? So the government has ultimately control of what papers can and cannot print. And allegedly they don't use it that often, but I'm pretty sure they do use it. And I'm almost certain they used it in 2020. Almost certain there were a fucking stack load of D-notices going out.
Well, the grey zone, I mean, I think it's the grey zone or declassified have been reporting that there have been D-notices that the government's put out relating to Gaza.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm not going to say what they are because I don't want to get us into any trouble. But I mean, there's also the culture, media, sport. There's a parliamentary committee that's run by an activisty, wokey type person that is largely responsible for a lot of the censorship. And then we've got Ofcom as well, which we can thank Tony Blair for.
Yeah.
But I mean, the UK's got no freedom of speech. I mean, they let us, they give us a certain amount of freedom so that they can go on the world stage and bleat about and basically berate other countries for clamping down on journalists or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, look at the journalist that got arrested in Russia. The American journalist, was that American?
He was a CIA spy.
Don't spoil it, right?
Sorry,
but yeah. So this guy goes to the middle of freaking nowhere where there just happens to be a missile. Was it a missile factory?
No, but it's
what was it?
It was in the Urals. Yeah, it was Evan Glechko or something like that, I think. But yeah, he was basically soliciting for information around Russian military industrial complex factories and stuff like that. And he was clearly, I mean, if it had been a Russian doing that in the US, like sniffing around Raytheon or whatever, they would have locked him up for 1,000 years. I mean,
so yeah, I mean, it's fucking, the whole thing's ridiculous. Oh God. Right, where were we? Fucking unbelievable, this really is.
That's 2024. I mean, get with the program, dude.
Yeah. So prior to the election, Starmer pledged to cut household.
Oh, it's him again.
He pledged to cut household electrical bills by, hold on a minute, I'll bring that down a tad, by 400 quid if Labour win the general election, right? And then in his manifesto, right, first line, Labour would freeze gas and electricity prices immediately to give people breathing space over the winter. And what was it Ofcom said yesterday? What was it they said? Oh, we're going to raise the cap. Ofgem. We're going to raise the cap by 10% to allow energy companies to make a small profit. British Gas's profit last year was £750 million. So how much smaller of a profit are you making by raising the cap?
They're just greedy bastards, and gas wholesale prices have dropped significantly.
Yeah, of course they have.
And that's never been properly reflected. And so those greedy bastards. It's just like I got my water bill, and the bill's gone up. It's gone from £28 to £47 a month.
That's fucking ridiculous.
It's insane. And these and I mean these water companies, they're useless. It rains and the bloody water smells of chlorine. I refuse to drink my own tap water because it's you can smell the chlorine in it.
I don't drink tap water. I've got one of those British Berkfields, with the filters.
And I mean
on
the
them.
government, and it's the same with the supermarkets. It's like, there's a cost of living crisis, and Tesco's made £600 billion or something. They're not 600 billion, but I mean they made massive profits.
Yeah, they do.
And the government is basically just letting all of the people who pay for their re-election campaigns just make that money back by raping the population.
See this Lucy Pill thing? She came on all bright and bubbly and stood in front of these two poles, right, which have the yellow flashes on them. And it just shows you the importance of getting the framing right, because I mean, I saw this video. This is a video, and I'm not playing videos because I'm fed up dealing with copyright strikes. But so this was a video, and it looks like she's wearing an IDF uniform. I mean, it really does.
Mm.
When you see the video, you fucking have a thought to the optics, people. Speaking of optics, right? Hamza, the backbencher, right, says, how much worse does it have to get before the international community say enough is enough, right? So Ted Ross, gravely concerned, a 10th-month unvaccinated child from Gaza has been confirmed to have polio. First case in Gaza in 25 years, right? Okay.
Because it's got nothing to do with viruses. Polio is not caused by a virus. It's caused by toxins.
They call it something derived polio, right? I think you can imagine what the something is, because the only thing giving people polio these days is the thing that's meant to stop them, right?
Well, it's originally back in the day when they had loads of polio outbreaks in the US.
Yeah.
In the summer of I think it was the 20s and 30s, it actually coincided with DDT spraying, and they were literally spraying that stuff everywhere.
Yeah. But the
and
thing
it was
is,
only done in the summer.
That to me is nothing but propaganda, right?
Mm.
Now the thing is, and I'm not playing sides in this conflict or war or whatever you want to call it in the Middle East. I'm not playing sides at all, right? Because I think the whole thing's a shit show and always has been. But why do they have to propagandize like that? That always makes my spidey senses go, why are they doing that?
That's just Humza, because
but it's not just Humza, because that's the UN that's put that out. That's Tedros.
Oh yeah, Teddy.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing with Tedros is he will push whatever what propaganda he can, because that's what he's being paid to do by Bill Gates. Simple as.
Yeah.
And he's got his job because of Bill Gates. And when his original the meeting at the UN where Tedros was first made Secretary General of the WHO, there was actually people from Ethiopia who were escorted out of the hall by police because they were shouting Tedros is a terrorist and all this kind of thing, because he's connected to some really dodgy shit in Ethiopia, and he's not a doctor.
No, I know.
I think he's got an honorary doctorate in something or other, but I mean, he's not a medical doctor.
Is he not a borderline? I can't say the word, can I? Because it's like that guy got arrested for that journalist Medhurst guy. Is he not a borderline one of them? Not a journalist.
Well, yeah. Personally,
he used to be.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, hold on. I've got to address a chat here. Where are we? Eddie Woods. Hello, Eddie. Do a piece on the Angry Brigade, lads. Who's the Angry Brigade? What's that? Is this something I've missed? Thank you, Ray. Just for a thing he said, do not read it out.
Oh dear.
So yeah, does anyone know who this Angry Brigade is? Is it something
Never heard of them.
Right, okay. Well, I'm sure he'll get back to us. Right, where are we? Speaking of bad optics, mate. Bad optics. There's bad optics.
Yeah, I saw that video. Oh my days. I mean,
I don't know what she was trying to do though, because she was going at them, at full ramming speed. She really was.
She was, but it's one of the. This is one of the big problems about internet videos and stuff that you see on Twitter that you always have to be wary of. That you don't know. I mean, ostensibly, it looks like the cops are manhandling some disabled old lady in a mobility device.
Well, the cops stood in front of her and then kicked it over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you don't know the backstory. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, don't they have those spikes that they can put across the road?
But how much damage is someone like that? How much damage can they actually do? I mean,
Well-
she ends up flat on the road, you know. But I mean, I know Janet's saying crisis actors, right? But that's not great optics for anyone here. The way that happened, you know, I can't see any advantage in anyone setting that one up.
Well, one of the things, I mean, especially after that what is it, what was she called? The memes, that lesbian granny police officer that went completely psycho.
Lesbian Nana. Lesbian
they,
Nana.
they seem to be very concerned with their image and their rainbows and all this kind of thing. But
well, you say that. GMP have pulled out of the Pride Parade.
Have they?
Mm-hmm. They're not doing it. They've told all their cops not to wear rainbows or be involved in anything in Pride.
Good.
Well, it's about fucking time, because they're supposed to do a job. They're not supposed to ponce about like a bunch of perverted idiots.
Well, absolutely. The thing about the police is that one of the things that one would expect in a reasonable society is that the police, when you're in uniform, it's okay if you've got, as long as you're not doing all sorts of outrageous things. But when you're in the police and you're putting that uniform on, you have to be you have to be a neutral observer almost. Mm-hmm. You have to be impartial. Are the defender of the law. Yeah, you're impartial, and you're there to stop people getting hurt. You're there to make sure people don't break the law. And apart from that, you just stay the fuck out of things.
Yeah, sounds good.
And it's not. I mean, it's not your job to paint rainbows on your face and go dancing around with people in little dog outfits and all this other weird shit that they wear. I mean, what the fuck is it with that, man? Seriously.
I know, and it keeps coming up. It keeps popping up every so often. It's like, fuck off. Right. Really? Now, I am and call me an arsehole if you wish, and many people do, you know, so it's not going to come as a surprise to me. But doesn't charity begin at home, right? So what the fuck is Annalise Dodds banging on about South Sudan and the dire humanitarian need and things need to be done now? You know what? Go back to fucking Team America, World Police, and get them to sort it out, because they probably caused it in the first place.
Well, exactly. That the thing about the Sudan is that we've had geopolitical games being played in Sudan for many, many years, and the CIA's been involved there, MI6 is involved there. All of these people, well, allegedly, don't want to get myself into any trouble, but there's all sorts of rumors and reports that because Sudan, I mean, it's a very big country, but it's also quite strategic in terms of its coastline and the countries that it borders. And it's a massive country, so of course they're going to have internal issues. And yeah, there is famine there, but these things are being engineered. It's not just, the rains failed and the crops failed and suddenly people are hungry. Because there's food shipments that get interrupted or stolen or whatever. But the whole government, it's like we're sending billions to Ukraine, and what was it? We're paying for Chinese opera, and we're paying for roads in Malaysia, and exactly. I mean, the government this idiotic government still thinks that we've got some kind of empire, and still thinks that Britain is this big, powerful country in the world, and we're not at all. No, we're not. We once had an empire that the world never set on, but the joke behind that is that the reason that the sun never set on the British Empire is that God didn't trust the British in the dark.
What are you getting? You want to talk about?
I could rant about all sorts of things.
Right, go on a rant, because I need to refresh my water glass. It's empty.
You need to refresh your water glass. Okay, I'm just going to have a quick look in my Twitter bookmarks.
So you go on a rant, and I'll go.
Let's have a quick look. Oh, Clarkson banning Starmer from his new pub.
Oh, that is a good one.
I like that. Hungary has decided that they're now threatening Brussels that they're gonna do what what's his name? I think it was Greg Abbott, the Texas governor, where they started busing migrants to Martha's Vineyard. That was hilarious. And actually, that they had 2 buses of migrants show up at Martha's Vineyard, and literally they got the National Guard in, and they were all gone within 72 hours because the rich Democrats are quite happy for people to come streaming across the border and ending up in Texas or wherever. But as soon as they're in their backyard, no, they've got to go, and they get rid of them. What else we got? Oh, yeah. I think the Starmer being banned from a pub he's not even been in yet is a good one. And Jeremy Clarkson, you have to say, we've got to support the farmers. And Clarkson, I do think he's a bit of a knob, but he does. He's sticking up for British farming, and we all kind of need to do that. Is that you back again, John?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back, baby. I'm back.
Cool.
Right, so, and I'm refreshed my water glass. Thank you. Yeah, that Hungary thing's brilliant, isn't it? You know?
Mm.
Yes, we're going to fine you 200 million for not sending people, or for not allowing people to come into your country. Okay, we'll just let them in and give them a ticket straight to Brussels.
Yeah.
Freaking fantastic.
And because of Schengen, and because it's all open borders.
Yeah,
nope,
can't stop them.
Straight on buses. Bye. See you later.
Yeah,
I think it's a great idea.
Well, that's what Texas started doing in the border, didn't they? They started shipping people onto buses and dumping them off in New York and places like that. Yeah, and it worked a treat. I mean, New York's a shithole now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but also California.
Well,
and I mean, I saw. Oh, did you see that clip of Peter Thiel talking to Joe Rogan? And he was saying about people. I'll have to paraphrase it, but he was basically saying that people had to be compromised to get ahead, and that they had to have some dirt on you, and then you'd be allowed to kind of rise up through the ranks.
Yeah,
which is super creepy. Oh my god, did he just say that out loud? And the other thing that I noticed in that interview was that he was talking about California and how, despite all of the completely visible problems that California's got, is that because of the tech companies, it's still got one of the largest GDPs in the world.
Yeah.
But actually, when you think about it, look at how much money Apple has stashed in the bank, and then look at the state of places like San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because they're not in San Francisco; they're outside it, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're in Mountain View.
But I mean, you see the videos of the fentanyl problems in the US. I mean, what the hell? I mean, that fentanyl just seems like one of the most evil drugs ever invented. I mean, because you've got the old opium dens where people would kind of lie down and kind of do their opium and mong out. But I mean, being bent over double in the middle of the street monging out is just like, what the hell is that stuff?
Well, because the SNP want to solve Scotland's horrendous drug death problem, right? Which is like 3 times any other European country, including England, right? They want to solve it and blame Westminster for the problem. But how come England doesn't have the problem if Scotland does? But anyway, they want to solve this horrendous drug death problem by opening consumption rooms. So somewhere where you can go and have your... And they've spent millions on this facility. So you know, they've got a chill out area, they've got a consultation room, they've got the shall we say, the dosing room, you know, and you'll be watched over by medically trained staff. Fucking what the fuck?
I mean, it's all, in a way, it kind of started when they started deindustrializing things, and when shipbuilding was closed and the mines were closed, and okay, they were shit jobs, but they were jobs, and people had a sense of purpose, and young men would follow their fathers into the shipbuilding or whatever. and they'd have solid 9 to 5 work. And okay, it wasn't great and it wasn't particularly healthy and all of that stuff, but they were able to have a family and a house and everything else. And then when the government started closing those industries down, particularly the mines,
Hmm.
they decimated entire communities. And I mean, Scotland and Wales particularly were hit really hard in that period. And now the current government wants to go on a mission against North Sea oil and gas, which is going to screw Scotland up even more if those idiots are allowed to get away with it. Um, but it's not. I mean, drug use. Because I'm half Dutch, and I spent my
Yep.
teenage years in Holland, and the Dutch have a very progressive attitude towards drugs, but at the same time, they also have very good treatment facilities, and there's help available. That means that people who actually want to give that stuff up have got a fighting chance. And here they I mean, I don't know what it's like in Scotland, but certainly in England, the actual treatment facilities and the help that's available for these people is almost non-existent. I mean, it is there, but it's really difficult to access.
Yeah.
But it's also it also speaks to larger societal problems. That's the thing, is that it's not the drugs that are the problem. It's the reason why the people are turning to drugs in the first place. That's the problem. And I was reading, it was
Hmm.
actually really powerful. It was one of the guys that I follow on Twitter. I think he's called Dave something, but he wrote this really powerful kind of mini essay. I think it was today actually, because he's Scottish and he was sexually abused as a child, and that sparked off all of his problems: drug addiction, prison, everything. And he says that there's loads of men in Scotland, particularly, that have that problem.
Hmm.
And it all stems from child sexual abuse to start with, or
Okay.
broken homes, or other massively traumatic things that happen to kids. But then that trauma doesn't get dealt with, and there's no way to deal with it. You're not taken seriously. You go to even the people like the police, and he said he got arrested, and he tried to explain to them how he got into that situation, and they just weren't interested in listening. They're just like, "You're a criminal now, go to jail." Um, and so it's a symptom of a fundamentally broken society. And instead of governments actually doing something sensible and trying to ameliorate these problems and resolve them and fix them, we've got a bloody prime minister that is accusing people who are complaining about 3 young girls being murdered. And I mean,
Hmm.
for a mother to lose her shit over 3 kids being murdered, that's totally normal. I mean, what mother wouldn't kind of lose their minds a little bit at the thought of
Well,
that maybe happening to their own kids?
see, this is the thing I don't understand, right? Because when something like that happened, there was a number of things you could have done, and as a leader of a country that you've just been elected to, would you not stand up and go, look, can everybody just take a step back? This is a horrible, horrible thing that's happened. It's affected their community. We're all mourning for these girls, and we feel for the people that are being affected
Mm,
directly, right? But it's not going to help if you go out and thrash out. Let us do our job and find and prosecute the people responsible, and then we'll see what we can do to make sure that this kind of thing never happens again. Now, I mean, is that not the kind of approach that anyone would have taken? Any sensible person would
yeah.
have taken?
I mean, if you'd put me in that position, I would have basically sat down with a speechwriter, and I would have written a speech to like do a live speech on TV, appeal for calm, say that you're going to work to try and address the problems,
Hmm.
sit down with community leaders, you go and meet the parents, and you actually, there was a really powerful, this is a little bit of a sidetrack, but it is kind of related because it relates to leadership. But there was a really powerful video that I saw um, about 3 or 4 days ago, and it was the anniversary of the Beslan school massacre in Chechnya.
Yeah.
And Putin went to attend the memorial services and stuff, and they have various really beautiful monuments. The Russians love their statues and stuff, and
Yeah.
they actually still make really amazing art. But he went to the one that was dedicated to the soldiers who lost their lives in that anti-terrorist operation, and it's a very sort of militaristic sort of monument. And he laid some flowers down, and he stood there really formally and bowed his head a couple of times and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then when he went to the monument for the children, he did the same thing. He walked up to it with a similar sort of bunch of flowers, really solemnly, put them down, and then I was really, I mean, it surprised me, but he gets straight down onto both knees, crosses himself, kisses the monument, crosses himself again, stands up, crosses himself again, and then turns, and he just sort of stands there with his head bowed for maybe 10 or 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's leadership.
Yeah.
That's and you kind of, I don't know, it's, you have to, it's just, you lead by example. And for Starmer to come in and start accusing people of being far right extremists or racists or looters or rioters or whatever, that's
He's
not solving
alienated.
anything. Exactly.
He's alienated probably 2/3 of the country.
Well, the 80% of the people that didn't bloody vote for
yeah,
him,
exactly.
been alienated by him a little bit more.
And,
I mean,
and apparently he's losing 1,000 members a week from the Labour Party. So he's alienated half of them as well.
apparently the Labour Party's now just being propped up by rich people.
Yeah. Well, what the fuck has happened in the world? The Labour Party's become the Tories, and the Tories have gone out for lunch.
Yeah. and it's like with all of this, all of the riots and everything else, it's just like there's some sort of tacit agreement between Labour and the Tories that the Tories are just gonna shut up, they're running around like headless chickens because they haven't got a leader, or they're all doing what Tories do best, which is stabbing each other in the back.
Or shagging each other.
Ew. That was when I found out about John Major and Edwina Curry.
Oh, God.
Ew.
That's just
Oh my God.
It's like, but you know what? See when you picture that in your mind, and I'm not saying to anyone, picture. No, don't. You don't want to, but if you did, and you know, when you first heard about it, you would inadvertently picture it in your mind. When you first heard about it, you would go, "Oh, that was a black and white movie."
Oh my days, it's just not even funny, but it's like that. The whole place, the whole of Westminster is a cesspit.
Yeah, it is.
And I refuse to call it Westminster, either here or
Westminster?
online. It's Westminster.
Westminster. Well, yeah, that could be right. Right, okay, let's lighten things up a bit. I thought
we were taking a very light-hearted approach to all of the fuckery in the world.
Of course we are. Edwina, says Brit, mate. You sick puppy. You need help, mate. You need help. Right. So this was quite good. But didn't you think? Barack Obama basically just told the whole world that Donald Trump is small in the pants department. And with the size of Michelle's cock, everyone's looks small. It's a fair point. I'm not making assumptions or anything. I'm not gonna assume any gender or anything. I'm just, there you go. I think that's a fair point.
We're not saying anything about Michelle Obama or Barack Obama or anybody. We are just saying that this person on Twitter, Cam, made a rather
funny,
amusing comment.
Right, here's another amusing comment, and I got to wonder, why are a certain demographic always so angry, right? I mean, just look at the venom in this guy's face. It would be like being savaged by a sheep.
I know. I think it would probably struggle to fight its way out of a wet paper bag.
Yeah, I think it would. Fucking unbelievable. And that's probably angry face. Oh, here's a cracker. Right. This is one of the best pieces of news all week. Right. One of the best pieces of news all week, without a doubt. And we knew it was coming. But it's official. The Acolyte is cancelled. Right. But for those that are gutted, there's a petition to save the Acolyte. It already has hundreds of signatures from fans. yeah, it got cancelled because one, it's a woke piece of shit, and two, nobody fucking watched it. So you think anyone's going to sign a petition to get this shit back on streaming or wherever it was? I don't know. I watched one episode, and when they had the campfire in space, I thought, holy fuck, we've really blown the laws of physics out of the world now, haven't we? You know, you can't have a fire in a vacuum. Oh.
Well, Ben Davidson of his Sunweather Man on Twitter, he actually posted a tweet earlier on saying, "Heard a teenage girl at the grocery store say over the phone, that's like woke level stupid. Hope kindled."
Yeah,
but yeah,
kindled.
Woke level stupid. It's like peak stupidity is woke.
Yeah. And Britmate's right. What about the new black, gay, and disabled King of England? Apparently that's in a show. I mean, fucking hell. It's got to be an Amazon show. Is it? Is it an Amazon show? No, that'll be Amazon. It's got to be Amazon. It's Amazon. Amazon does all the really fucking stupid stuff. You know, like Lord of the Rings of Power. It's got to be Amazon. Anyway.
I quite enjoyed Rings of Power.
Get to fuck! Oh my
okay,
God.
maybe I just like the blonde elf.
Oh, right. Now, is that a guy?
No.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry.
No.
Elves are kind of androgynous, so I don't know. And what age is an elf? You know, you never know.
Well, they're all like 900 years old or something, aren't they?
Yeah, but in elf years, that's nothing, you know? They might still be minor elves.
Oh,
yeah, shut up, John. Anyway. So, staying with the Star Wars theme, the German Navy played the Imperial March as they came up the Thames in their German destroyer. That was tremendous.
And people say the Germans don't have a sense of humour. Oh my God, that was genius.
It's a classic. And of course, they doubled down by saying the music meant nothing at all.
Oh no, you just played the Imperial March from Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was
no,
good.
that was class.
Yeah, it was. You've done Keir Band from Claxton's Boozle, so we don't need this one. Oh, this next one is, you sent me this, I think. Did you send? Yeah, you sent me this, and I thought this is peak fucking trolling at its best. Okay, now there is a video, but I'm not playing the video because I don't want fucking copyright strikes. I've had enough of them. So anyway,
this is brilliant.
Russians, these Ruski guys, right, override drone video signals with dancing videos on the Russian president, right? So all the pilot of the drone can see is he's zooming in, coming in to get the Russians, and the next thing, fucking, somebody dances doing the Marinka, and then you got Putin.
All the videos of Putin dancing,
and then you got Putin doing the fucking March of Death up the red carpet. And these guys must be going, oh, fuck. And of course, at that point, the drone crashes because, nobody's piloting it.
Yeah.
Oh, tremendous.
I mean, the Russian electronic warfare is impressive, to say the least. I mean, I've seen they have drone guns, but then you don't need drone guns because they all of the Russian
just headbutt drones.
Infantry units. Well, yeah, there is that, which was probably a fake, but it didn't actually look fake. He did look like he headbutted it and then he ran away.
You know what? It might not have been a fake because the helmet designed. The helmet. There's not big charges on these things, right? And if the helmet just diverted the blast wave, because it doesn't look like it has to hit. They seem to
But
go off with
if he hit it,
proximity.
I mean, if he hit it square in the middle of the top of the helmet,
Yeah, it would.
so that any blast was actually directed
Yeah,
away from his head, then you could see how it would work. But I mean, I've seen them. All of the Russian infantry units have got one guy who carries a shotgun, and he's
yeah,
basically the drone dude.
yeah, yeah.
And they're
Pull!
shooting the bloody.
Bang.
Yeah, they are. It's like it's the yeah. But I mean, the electronic warfare stuff that they've developed
Oh yeah,
is
it's good.
next
Good.
level.
And
But
this
I mean,
is
that's just
where,
trolling. That's just funny.
yeah, and
I
this
mean, I
is
think
sorry.
it's one of the things that I like about the Russians, because I mean, I follow quite a few Russian accounts on Twitter, and they've got. I mean, their sense of humor is so appealing to a British person that I'm surprised that we're not actually the best of friends, because they just have this dry, sardonic,
Yeah.
hilarious ability to troll. I mean, there's a Twitter account called Olga Bazova.
Oh, I've seen.
Um,
I follow her. I think.
yeah, and she's just next level. But I mean, even Maria Zakharova, some of the stuff that she comes out with. And then you've got Dmitry Medvedev, who's
He's a nutter.
I know.
Did you see that fucking essay he posted the other? Was that today?
Yeah.
I mean, thank God, people of Ukraine, thank God that he's not the president, because you
Yeah.
would be living in a fucking hole right now. I'm telling you.
I mean, people say Putin is like this extremist and he's this authoritarian and he controls everything. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, have you seen Mr. Medvedev recently?
Yeah, he's lost it. He is a complete and utter idiot.
But I don't think he is. He's actually, because he's a very bright guy.
Yeah,
but
he's
I mean,
probably
he's, 'cause
putting it on.
he's deputy chairman of Russia's. I think it's called the National Security Council or something. It's the governing security body. Putin's the head of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's essentially the body that makes a lot of the big decisions, because it's not people. The Western media gives the Western public this idea that Putin is this dictator and he's making all the decisions, and Putin does this and Putin does that, but he's not. One of the reasons that he's successful is that he's surrounded himself with some very, very smart people.
Yeah.
And I think one of Medvedev's jobs is to play the bad cop to Putin's good cop, because there is a section. I mean, there's a section of Russian political leadership that totally agrees with Medvedev, and Kiev would be a smoking crater, as you say.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's just be thankful that we've got someone like Putin.
Yeah, I mean, and Brett Mate says he and Putin were both FSB. Yeah, and you can imagine how that interview went, you know. So you've been pulled into the FSB headquarters and you're getting grilled by Putin and Medvedev, right? And you're sitting there and and Medvedev's just read the riot act at you, and you're fucking sitting shitting your pants. And Medvedev leaves the room. Putin's there, and he slides a cup of coffee. He slides a cup of coffee over to you. If you tell me, I will keep the animal away.
Was that before or after he's given you a 2-hour history lecture about Russian,
bloody hell, yeah.
Russian history?
This is why we believe the Mongols used cattle as a weapon.
But at the same time, a historian is actually the kind of person you want to have as president, because
where's our historians tonight? Where's Nick Taradis and JJ? Well, he was in earlier. I don't know if he's had enough.
I completely forgot to tell Nick to read us about the show.
Yeah,
I'll send it to him.
Right, hold on, come on. These people are meant to be fucking semi-intelligent. It's 9 o'clock every Thursday and Friday. It's not a big stretch, you know.
Well, I've only recently started joining you for the All In, so
Well, yeah. Well, I think this is your third in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Anyway, right. Oof, I've only got one slide left.
Well, I mean, we've done an hour and a half, so
yeah. Well, there you go. Is there anything else you want to talk about, or shall I just put this slide up?
I think we've covered it basically.
Well, we didn't really go into the ME, but I really think if we start going down that route, we'll bring the mood down. So I think we'll probably just leave it where we are.
Yeah, the Middle East is just a big shit show.
Yeah. What you got?
We'd probably just end up getting ourselves into trouble for anything we said anyway.
No doubt. So people out there that are listening to us, we've still got some viewers. If you enjoyed this, remember you can actually give us some donations if you like, because I turned the adverts off for this show, especially for you, because you weren't interrupted. So you got it all, what's and all. So, yeah, remember, you can always donate using ko-fi.com/chasing descent. And I was supposed to tell you at the beginning, because if you do make a donation and type in a suitably
You always do this. You tell them right at the end of the show.
Yeah, well, you know what? I find it very difficult to ask people for stuff before they've had the product, you know?
Well, yeah, but you're actually telling them that it's a transactional thing because you're
But
not.
they'll come back. They'll come
It's
back
not like
next week.
You've got
hopefully.
It's not like you've got cap in hand.
Yeah.
But you can say that if you want a comment read out on the show, then
Yeah. Yeah, but
money.
apart from that, it should be a transactional thing anyway, because we give them fucking good hour and a half's entertainment twice a week, you know? So it's only fair that they give us something back, is it not?
Well, my services are free, so this is
Yeah,
for
but well, not all sluts,
chasing-
mate. You've got a job. I haven't. I'm destitute.
No, that's exactly why I don't demand any money.
Not yet. Wait till I start raking it in. Fucking fat chance of that. Fat chance of that with you buggles out there. Right. I tell you what, my it's tricky. It's tricky being on a fast when your wife's been in all day baking cakes, right? She's made muffins, millionaire shortbread, brownies, and cookies today, right?
And you've actually managed to do a fast through all of that.
Not touch the thing. Not touch the thing.
Your willpower is impressive.
Thank you. So anyway, she goes, there's 5 muffins left that I don't have, that aren't needed for orders. She goes, do you want to take them over to the boys? And I goes, yeah, okay. So I took them over to the mechanic guys across the road, give them to them. And one of them made a sandwich. And I think that's a brilliant idea. So he got a muffin, took the bottom off and put it on top because the muffins have got buttercream on top of them, right? And then he ate it like a cake sandwich. And I thought, yes. It's a cup. It wasn't a muffin, it was a cupcake. But, that's a brilliant idea. I thought, I said to Andy, you could just make a tray bake, ice it, not ice it, but buttercream it, and then put another layer of muffin on top, or whatever you call them. And then maybe even put a layer of chocolate on it and think what that would be like.
Well, you could batter it and then deep fry it.
We're not all Philistines. I've never had a deep fried. In fact, I'll be honest, I've never seen a fish and chip shop that offers a deep fried Mars bar.
Me neither. I think they're phantoms.
I think it might be an urban myth. And what will happen is somebody will have done it somewhere at some point as a result of the urban myth. Because somebody's no doubt eating a sausage and going, or is it a saveloy you call them down there? They'll be eating a battered sausage and they'll be going, I wonder what it would taste like if I did a Mars bar in batter. Yeah.
Oh,
right.
dear.
Okay. So imagine what it'd be like if I'd been drinking.
Well, you're actually pretty lively with your fasting, so
yeah. Right, last slide. 1970 called and want their bell bottoms back. This was Scottish TV this week.
What the hell? Have you seen that South American weather girl?
Did she get dressed in the dark?
It's just like the compare. I'm not sure. It's South America somewhere. I think it might be Mexico,
right,
or somewhere. But there is she's actually famous for being as shapely as she is, and yeah, I think we've got what's her name? I call her Climate Girl. Oh Christ, what's her name? Laura something. One of the BBC weather girls, but I mean, the Spanish one is something else.
Oh, some of these South American ones
those-
are unbelievable.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, but those trousers. I mean, she needs to be careful because her trousers are gonna get mistaken for a bit of cloud front coming
Yeah,
in
I
off the
thought-
Atlantic.
It's freaking mental, isn't it? It's like, what's coming in? You know, we're having an attack of bell bottoms.
But
Anyway.
what kind of fashion statement is that? I mean,
It's fucking ridiculous. It's like it's somebody that's had enough of their job and thinks, I wonder if I can wear something completely ridiculous and hide a ferret up my trouser leg while I'm on TV.
Or she's got a child, and the child's decided that mummy needs to wear these particular trousers on television today.
Yeah. Yeah. You lost, mummy. You have to wear these trousers.
Oh dear, honestly.
So, Harold, you're wrong. If you make buttercream with the best of ingredients, it tastes absolutely fine, and I think Shalini will testify to that. So, moving on, where shall we go? That's us. That's us, mate. I think that's us. Is there anything else? Oh, what are you doing at the weekend? Are you doing anything exciting? Are you going out to pictures or seeing some chums or going for a beer or anything like that?
No, I'm just chilling out.
Oh, fucking hell, man.
I probably will. No, actually, that's not true. I'm going out tomorrow to a pub to see some friends because it's someone. I think it might be someone's birthday or something. But no, I'm actually going out to a pub tomorrow night. So yeah, I'm
That's
going
cool.
out.
That's cool. Right.
Do
and
a
with
bit
that-
of peopling.
with that, we will see you again at some point. There'll be a couple of things up over the weekend. Tomorrow I have a walk in the graveyard coming up around about 12 o'clock. It's scheduled for publication then. If you are a member of the show, which you can get from as little as 99 pence a month, you can go on. Maybe I should increase that and put a 25p, the reusable cup levy on my 99. Anyway, so yeah, you can go on and watch that now. And remember, you can always watch the shorts that go up because a lot of the shorts I've been doing Burniston shorts and a lot of them are in sequence. And normally I put all the sequence up at one go, and members get to watch the whole thing straight away without having to wait because they're members and they get perks. That's one of the perks you get. The other perk is I'll try and be nice to you occasionally. But apart from that, I'm pretty sure it's been great for you. Say good night, Ed.
Good night, Ed.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah.
I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me?
I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, hearts full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop up. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo.
I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me?
I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost,